Fidelity says that one Bitcoin might be worth $1 billion in 2038. Now, this is a crazy prediction. And I mean, hey, at the end of the day, I'm just a random guy that loves Bitcoin. But when you see Fidelity, who is, worth a stupid amount of money, saying numbers like this, you gotta take a look at it and go, where is this coming from? And what is actually going on? In today's video, we're going to unpack that, guys. Welcome back to Bitcoin to 1 million. I never thought Bitcoin would hit 1 billion, but after reading this article, I'm looking at it and going, huh, like, how could this actually happen and is it possible? So we're going to take a look at a couple different things here, guys. With these videos, I make daily videos. So every single day, you'll have a Bitcoin video to watch where we will go over price action. We'll go over, the main topic of the video. So in today's case, the 1 billion price prediction. And we'll also go over news from today or just different concepts to kind of just go ahead and make sure you guys, understand Bitcoin and kind of solidify that Bitcoin is going to go to 1 million. Now, in my opinion, I genuinely do think, and with my analysis, I genuinely do think Bitcoin's going to hit $1 million. I mean, it's not a fact of if, it's a fact of when. But 1 billion, I don't know. I'm starting to get a little skeptical. So let's take a look at it, guys. To start off with price action, as I mentioned, Bitcoin is just a stable coin, at 88.5. Nothing too crazy going on here, guys. I mean, it's just been ranging here for a while. But let's talk about it, okay? So Fidelity, one Bitcoin may be worth 1 billion by 2038. Now, the first thing I did was I clicked the Grok button and I saw what AI thought about it, and it goes over a couple different things, right? Optimism and skepticism for sure, and there's a couple different things going on here. So the actual article is pretty interesting. So we could see the implication is that utility value of Bitcoin will outgrow its operational network, right? So this is basically assuming that Bitcoin is everywhere, right? Bitcoin is life, right? And again, in 2038, I will be, 38 years old, which is freaking scary to think about. Hopefully I have a beautiful wife and a bunch of kids by then, maybe multiple wives and kids. I don't know, but I'm just kidding. That's not actually allowed in my, but anyways, with that being said, the implication of utility is obviously that it will outgrow operational network, right? Its operational network. So more or less, it talks about participating retailers, both directly and indirectly, basically just talking about a bunch of other things, right? So its own demand model grows very slowly in proportion to the stock to flow combination supply model. Now, the stock to flow model has been invalidated a couple times, and I would argue that it no longer exists or needs has anything to do with crypto anymore, but it basically predicts that it will reach 1 million by 2030. So in 5 years, we'll have 1 million. Now, the stock to flow combination model forecasts a price between 1 million and 10 million by 2030. Okay. So again, if we can get 1 million Bitcoin by 2030, that'd be great. Now, I personally think it'll be like around 2034, 2036, maybe. That's what I think. But again, what do I know, right? So Bitcoin could hit $1 billion because of the changes in the dollar value. So Timmer, who's I guess the author or the main researcher for this, says that the value of the dollar changes in relation to other assets. He further pointed out that $1 invested in stocks in the 18th century is worth about 4 billion in today's money. So going by this assumption, 1 million today could be worth 1 billion in 20 years time. Now, again, this is also assuming an exponential inflation rate, which obviously if that's going to happen, be interesting, right? Now, again, he just goes on to talk about the dollar's value and why huge sums back then appear less by today's standards. For instance, 1 million could purchase a lot of significant things a few decades ago. To put this into perspective, reasonably higher end houses in the US cost between 20,000 and 50,000. And the same 1 million may not suffice for the same class of houses today, okay, which again makes a lot of sense. Now, they also talk about, there's an increasing number of billionaires across the globe. Some observers even believe we may see the first trillionaire in this lifetime, which is probably going to be Elon Musk, right? But regardless, pretty freaking interesting. What do you guys think? Do you guys think that will happen? Will we see $1 billion Bitcoin by 2040 even, let's call it? Because guys, I'm going to be honest, I do think that eventually we're going to see houses priced in Bitcoin, right? We're not going to see, crazy market fluctuations. I think it's going to be very simple. You put it on the ledger, you buy on the blockchain, and you see, boom, for sale, let's call it 5 Bitcoin for a house right now, right? Which is possible, very doable. Now, let's talk about the past week in crypto or in Bitcoin, because guys, I make these videos every single day. Let's go over the highlights, right? Shout out to Simply Bitcoin for this. So Trump said he'd consider a pardon for the Samurai Wallet developers, which is pretty cool. Strategy, Michael Saylor, they bought 10,645 Bitcoin for $980 million. American Bitcoin added 261 Bitcoin and they now hold over 5,000. Obviously, that's the Trump family. Fidelity says Bitcoin may be entering a super cycle, which I do think is definitely happening. Okay, now moving forward, the Federal Reserve is scheduled to inject $6.8 billion into the market tomorrow at 9 a.m. So definitely expect a bit of a maybe a Christmas pump. I don't know, a Santa pump. That would be pretty freaking cool. Moving forward as well, Michael Saylor posts the Saylor Bitcoin tracker chart, which usually means that tomorrow he's going to announce that they bought even more Bitcoin, which is going to be pretty freaking cool to see. And finally, guys, I mean, yes, I do look at the charts in all of my videos just to kind of go over a couple things, just to kind of give everyone an update as to where we are. But this chart is very interesting as well. So basically, it just says don't look at all-time highs, look at yearly lows. And we can see, guys, the yearly low for 2025 is 75K. And again, we're not even looking at a bullish scenario here. We're just looking at the lows, right? So we could see, we went from 2021, 25K, 15.4K, 16.4K, 30, is that 38? 38.5K and 75K. So again, guys, pretty freaking cool to see. And again, Bitcoin, guys, is an asset that is forever rising. And again, as long as there's inflation, as long as we have currency issues, as long as we have fiat currency that doesn't actually work and is just a whole scam as a whole, we're gonna forever have Bitcoin. But guys, that is gonna be it for today's video. If you did enjoy, make sure you leave a like, subscribe down below, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.